So today I wanted to bring the Mages deck I've been working on for the past week or so. It's a Patience Mages deck, and let's take a look at it. We're playing Crystal Skull. Obviously the immunity to lock helps quite a bit on the Bronze Mages, which are what you want to keep alive. Then we have the Amphibious Assault. This is great to play out your Bronze Mages with. It's also pretty solid in Kerack Marine, and it can pull out whatever else you're missing. If you want a Easter egg, if you want a Leticia, you can pull it out. If you need your lock, you can pull it out. Amphibious Assault is really good. We have Arachas Prince. For the order reset, we have several really good targets for this. We'll get into them when we mention. I guess we'll mention them now. We have Shani's really good target for this. Enslave and Selkirk are obviously also really good targets. And Gerhardt's not bad either if his patience goes up, and it's also not bad on any of the mages if you manage to get their patience is up pretty high. So he's really good in the deck. Then we have the Gerhardt we mentioned. He's one of the best on play cards. You can play him. Comes down, you can create right away a pact if you need to, for plus 6 points. It's pretty good. It's one of the best short round cards without using a leader charge. Shani's are, well, usually not necessarily a finisher, but she's a big carry for round 3. You play your Shani, you want to bring back a mage with patience, probably like 6 or 7 patience ideally. Usually it doesn't happen because there's so much removal and graveyard interaction going on. So usually it doesn't work. Almost all the time I'm bringing back Kerack Marine. It's still really good. Kerack Marine is worth 7 when you bring him back, so that's pretty solid. And you can boost your Shani up, so maybe she'll live to get another activation off, although I find it almost never happens. On Sace, we have the leader ability. We're not playing Shield Wall. I tried Shield Wall for 10 or so games, and decided Inspired Zeal is better because you could run Selkirk more easily and have the extra duel. Quite useful. And you can also Inspired Zeal the guy you bring back, the Patience Mage you bring back with Shani, which is helpful, otherwise it might get answered. Then we have Donimir of Troy. Defender is really helpful. We need it to protect our stuff, especially with so much control going on right now. The Selkirk we mentioned. Hubert, really solid. Keep in mind the counter reduces when you use your order from your leader ability also, so don't overcount or undercount. Leader ability counts for this. John Natalius can pull one of our 3 Warfares. Obviously the best one is Amphibious Assault, but if you don't need that, you can go for one of the other ones. E-Shred fixes your hand, really nice. He can also boost the units you draw, really helpful on Selkirk or Prince Ansace, or even any of the Bronze Mages. Really helps keep them alive. Leticia, then your turn, her patience increases, so after say 3 turns, she increases it by, well, if she has a 3, she increases it by 3 instead of 1. It's not plus 3 on your patience. Keep that in mind, don't mess that up. And then we have she's really good by the way. To boost stuff up, the opponent will almost always see her as a massive threat and answer her above other things, so she's really solid to bait removal onto her with. So say you have a Bard student up to like 5 or so patiences, that's really where you want them at. It's a really good number. That and higher is solid, so you don't want them to get answered, because you want the patience to keep going. If you play a Leticia, they'll probably kill a Leticia over whatever else you have. Margarita is also really good. You can lock something with her, that's helpful. The Boiling Oil, I wanted a way to deal with Tunnel Drill and Freak Show because about 30% of my games are Lined Pockets Syndicate, and I wanted ways to deal with those two without having to use a duel or having set up a student, because the setting up the student up is not going to happen for Syndicate. They're just going to remove it. Then we have the Casting Contest. This is really helpful for your bronzes. It doesn't have to be one of the mages. Usually Kerack Marine's a really good target for this because you boost it by 5 and he gives out a 4-point order. It's 9 value. That's actually really good. And the other thing is they tend to not remove your Kerack Marine, so it still hangs around normally. So Casting Contest gets a lot of value frequently. The one Winch, boost by 5, reduce cooldown by 3. Really this is just for Shani. If Shani's down to a cooldown of 3, you just play this and your cooldown goes to 0, you pull something back. Almost everyone knows about this at this point though, so if she goes to 3, that's usually the turn she gets killed. But sometimes they can't kill her, or sometimes the Winch, they don't remember that the Winch is going to happen, sometimes they're not concerned about it, and you get the Winch off. It's also not a bad card to play out onto one of your duels. Say you duel with Selkirk, you boost him, he's a 7, you duel a 9. Say they play something and tactical advantage it, and you want to try and go up a card round 1, so you duel it, he gets hit back down to 5, and then you can John Natalius out your Winch, or just play the Winch on him, boost him a 10, and then you have another big duel ready. It's not bad either. Then we have the one Aratsu Adept. This slot and Boiling Oil are the ones that are extremely flexible. You can play anything in this spot. I've played Teleport, I've played Practice Makes Perfect, I've played several different cards here. And I've played Squirrel here. It can be whatever you want. I just went with the one Adept as another engine for these cards. The Practice Makes Perfect and the Teleport were too situational. Everything got answered, and when the problem with the deck is stuff getting answered, I didn't want to play more into that, so I added another engine here to take removal and give us more points. I didn't want to rely too heavily on having a student out, basically is what I was saying with the teleports. Then we have the two students, two of each. Banard is usually better because removal is more valuable than points on your side of the board because you go tall and you get removed, and if you remove the opponent's engines, it's worth more than the damage you put into it. If you kill an engine at 4 points, that was going to give them 8 points. Essentially, you got +8 from doing 4 damage. So that's why damage is usually better. The only exception to this, and the one that comes up pretty frequently, is Art said a student, if you're playing something that goes really tall, so mainly Nilfgaard Hyperthin, but also monsters to an extent, you can go for the Aratsuda student instead, and then boost one of your dual cards. So you get the Aratsuda student up to, like, say, +6 or +7, and then you play your Selkirk, you give it +7, you leader it, suddenly Selkirk's at 14, and that's an incredible swing. It's really good versus Sunset Wanderers, and Snowdrop in particular is what I've found. The Aratsuda student comes in pretty clutch there. Then we have the Royal Guards and Kerack Marines. We're playing both just because we have to get protection for our Bronze Mages. Without these, they're just going to die, and even with these, they're going to die. The meta I'm facing, I've played 30, well, it was 38 games, I played a few more, so 41 games with this deck now. And of those, 11 were Line Pocket Syndicate, very heavy removal. 8 of them were No Unit Madoc Scoia'tael, even heavier removal. And then I played another 8 Madoc Bear Wisher Skelligas, and that's what, 27 of my 41 games have been against Hyper Control decks. Well, not Hyper Control. 16 were Hyper Control, then there's just Syndicate. So you really need, if you're playing against stuff like that, you really need the protection. I almost considered playing Rune Word to get mages out with shield, but doesn't matter against Scoia'tael, and the Madoc Cataclysm will just burn the shields off, so I would decided to opt not to do that, even though Rune Word's a cool card. Now, the deck's still good. You can beat Syndicate. Syndicate's not too bad. You can beat them with this deck. Scoia'tael you can also beat. I have yet to win a single game against the Bear Witcher, or the Witcher Skellige control with Madoc. I'm not sure really how to do it. They just go for a 2-0, and it pretty much always works. So this deck does struggle a lot versus that. Syndicate's bad. It's a bad matchup, but it's not super bad. I'm like a 50% win rate in that one. Like 5-6 or 6-5, I forget which one. That's not too bad. And then against the Scoia'tael, it depends on how you go in the early game. If they're playing really no unit, like they go for a 2-0 with scenario, you can lose a lot of the time. If they don't go 2-0 scenario, you can win. So it kind of comes down to how they draw and what their deck list is. But yeah, it just mainly has a lot of trouble with control decks, and in particular control decks that also put out a lot of points, so Skellige comes to mind there. But overall, the deck's actually pretty good. You can win almost any matchup with it, other than the Skellige really heavy control decks. It's really good versus other engine decks because you get your points scaling off of your Banard students, destroying their engines, and then your engines get bigger and you can cast in contest. So against like monsters, for example, when they go for really heavy engines, if the round's long, you'll almost always win, and then you can go for Aratsuda students on big dual cards. Short rounds, the dual cards really help. Normally you want to play long rounds with the deck because of the patience, and your patience, because you get more patience pay off the longer the round is. But having the access to all the duels, and also Gerhardt to an extent, really helps in the short rounds. And Amphibious Assault's pretty good for that too. So it's not actually weak to short rounds. And if you go down a card round 3 and still have your big cards left, it's really not that big a deal. Usually you can still win that. So if you're trading provisions essentially for a card advantage, say you're just going to play all bronzes and they play a couple big golds, and you go down a card in the end, and you still have your big cards left, it's actually still not bad. Anyway, that's the deck. Let's get into some games and see how it goes. For our first game here, let's see what we're facing. Hopefully it's not Scoia'tael. I saw that Sabertooth scarily looking at me. It's Arachas Swarm. Okay. Now, they're going to generate a lot of points. It's probably Arachas Swarm with the Swarm. I'm not sure what else it would be. So we really want our Band Art students then, because they can do damage to those. They're going to get a lot of value off of their swarming, but then again, they also will probably not have really any control to deal with our engines. I think our engines will scale a bit harder, or we lose out on dual value other than Chimeras. So that's not great, but well, hitting a Chimera is still pretty solid. It's 9. We just want to make sure that the Yennefer swing isn't too big. That's what I'm concerned about. So we'll just play this Art student here first. And we'll play our next card. We'll play our other guy next turn. See what he's gonna go for. I'm guessing it's probably gonna be some of the drone swarm, drones spawning out. Really, we want to try and go for a long round 1, win that, and then our short round I think will be better than his short round. That's a portal. Never mind. He's not playing swarm. What is this? Let's see. What else have I seen lately? Could be no unit. That's a thing. No unit. Glusty Warp Finisher. That's a thing I've seen. Let's get our Eastred out. I want him to redraw our hand in case we need something against this. Right now we don't have any duels. We have access to Selkirk with Amphibious Assault. That's not really what I want to use Amphibious Assault on. We're going to really want to win this round, and then, like always, if I don't know what his deck is, I'm going to push him for 2-0, or at least push really hard round 2. Kerack Marine heals that up pretty nicely. There's Knickers. So I'm guessing he's going to go for some round 3 that he thinks we can't win. He's going for a massive tempo swing round 1, with all these points coming out. Then round 3 he's going to go for something he thinks we can't beat. I'm still going to boost that guy back up, by the way, dude. Now he's up by 10. We want to... That really makes us want to win this round, because I know he's doing that. He's going for something round 3. I'm not honestly sure what it is. It could be a no-unit round. I think it most likely is a no-unit round. We'll casting contest here. It's pretty good value, gives us +9, and it also saves our Eastred for another turn. We could use an order here, but he's going to keep going. I'm confident he's just going to keep going until he wins the round. Or there's absolutely no hope, so he's not going to pass there. And he did, that's still fine for us. We can handle 10 card round 3, I think. I know I said I don't want to deal with what he's going to have round 3, but I'm pretty sure there's no way he's going to let us win this round in case we go for a 2-0. We could pull Selkirk or Leticia, but I think we'll go for this student. We want to get more engines ticking and more for Shani. Let's see, we can do our student, or we can just pass. If we pass, we're in trouble because we're going to run 2 cards, which isn't great. But we'll just use our order here. Okay, I kind of thought we'd draw into a special card. I guess we wouldn't because we only have the 1 Warfare in our deck. We'll just use our student's order as well here. So we'll just boost something, I think. We'll just boost him. And let's see where we are here. Our hand is really, really good for going for a 2-0 push here. Alright, he hits us with that. That's fine. We have to throw out one of our big cards here. Of them, I don't think he's playing removal, really. I don't think he's going to have a Heat Wave. So Donimir or Troy isn't particularly amazing, although he is playing the 4 damage card, as we just saw. I think they'll throw out Enslave. We have access to Selkirk later on through our Echo card, the Amphibious Assault once it comes back. We'll take out this guy. Yeah, we'll take this guy out. We have access to Selkirk through the Amphibious Assault if we need him. So I'd rather play Enslave here than our other cards. And there's the round. Now we're going to push him hard round 2, at least until we know what he's doing. Our hand is super strong, and I'm pretty sure he's saving for a round 3 combo. Okay, there's Selkirk. We don't actually need the Assault for him anymore, which is good. Casting contest. It's alright here. Trying to think of what I'd rather have than this. Not really sure. This hand's really good. Really just trying to figure out what he's playing. Portal's kind of weird, but some people play that. This deck's getting kind of low, 8 cards. But that's not that low, really. We'll just throw our Donimir of Troy. I want a melee so Stalker has a chance to survive. I might be playing a Heat Wave here. He just highlighted that card pretty quickly. That makes you think it's a Heat Wave. Although other people are playing different Purifies. What do we have left in our deck? Gerhardt, we're missing. Hubert's coming out quickly. Okay, there's Crimson Curse. So he's committing high value cards to stop us here. Let's get a student out. Yeah, let's go for a student. Alright, Zeal would be nice for the duel, but I don't think so. I think we want our Ban Arch student here, so we can ping away some stuff. Get that damage scaling up. We have the casting contest for him also, which is nice. Now, I'm kind of concerned here, because we still don't know what's going on. Ownermancy's coming out, and it's going to be for a Wisper's Tribute. I'm not sure what it's going to be. Oh, Predatory Dive. I was kind of concerned about that round 1 when we boosted our guy up, but we lose our defender. That's a pretty big Predatory Dive. And we're down significantly here because of how much bleed is still out on the board from the Crimson Curse. Let's see what we've committed. Okay, we have Hubert pretty soon. That's a nice swing that we don't have to commit too much for. I think we'll just go for the 2-0 here, because I think whatever his combo is isn't online yet. And I don't really want to wait for him to be ready. Let's go for this student. She's got 4. We can boost her with a leader charge. We have one for Selkirk. That's the one we really need. And at 6, only a Parasite kills her. If Parasite hits her, it's not hitting our Banard student this turn, so one of them is going to live. Looks like both of them are going to live, which is nice. I think we want to go for... Selkirk's pretty big. Let's just boost this guy so he doesn't die to a Parasite. Next turn we'll Casting Contest here. We could have gotten more value from Casting Contest on this student, but I wanted to keep getting bigger, and that's not going to happen if he dies to a Parasite. Although I think he would have played a Parasite last turn. The student's nice because the boost on Selkirk gives us more reach on the duel. There's a Griffin. I think we say, do we save this lock or we just go for Selkirk here? The lock's not super good, but we'll play Selkirk because he might, if I don't know what he's playing, it could be a Keltelius or something, although I really doubt it. It could just be something I don't know what it is, and that would be a problem. Now Selkirk here will land for a big swing. This 2-0 push is really strong. Our hand after Estrad round 1 just got to be kind of nuts. That's why maybe you want to go for this 2-0 push. Well, I wanted to push him anyway because I wasn't sure what he was playing. Now, Glusty Warp with 5 leader abilities is still big. It's plus 11, 17 right now if he has it. We'll have to keep in mind that that could be his finisher and he might want to play it this round. Oh, it's Hyperthin. Oh, that's pretty interesting. Hyperthin Arachas Swarm. I've never seen this before. It's cool. The thing is, though, that's actually kind of scary. His yen's worth 16. Does he have her, though? Even if yen's worth 16, though, actually, we're alright. We're going to keep pushing just because I know what it is now. We've already committed our duel. Sadly, we lost the duel there. We can go for a Shani. If we had that Raxus reset on our Selkirk, that'd be amazing, but we don't. So I think we'll just reset Shani and go for that. Bring back probably a Kerack Marine. I think he's worth the most here. And there he is. And we'll just boost Hubert up because why not? Now this lock might be nice, but we have to be careful. The Glusty Warp finisher with 5 tokens is still a thing. Really here I want to play as Yennefer and then have to play his finisher, which I think is Glusty Warp. Natural selection. Oh wait, this is actually really close here. Or it's not that close. If he goes for 5, we'll shoot this out and then we'll throw a lockdown. I don't think lock's gonna have any value in this game, so we'll just use it now. Glusty Warp is +2 from the board, +10, +10, or +2, +10, +6, it's 18. Puts him to 36. He needs 8 more points if Lusty Warp's his finisher. That's not minor, and he also would have to have Lusty Warp here. Yennefer's worth 16, and that puts him to 34. He still needs 10 more after that. 5 more after his leader. So I think unless he has 2 really good cards in his hand, we're good. And even if we're not good, we've ruined his deck, and there's the GG. So yeah, that 2-0 push was really strong. Setting up the hand from round 1 really let us do that quite well.
Sorceress.
Game 2 then. This is one of the matchups I wanted to show off. Because this is one of the things the deck struggles with. I'm assuming this is a no-unit Madoc type of deck with a lot of control. And that's the type of thing that decks like this with a lot of engine value, and our patience is in this case, can really struggle. And if you look at our hand here, all I'm trying to do is have as many engines as possible with as many protectors as possible here, just to try and get one of our students to stick. That's really what I want to do. So we can go for a Royal Guard early, a second Royal Guard, or we can just open up with one of our students, and we'll put this on it, which we can. The thing is, normally they can make a bomb this, and you won't be able to use the order, but the patience still ticks, and the patience ticking is what we care about, because we want to get the value from round 3 with Shani, or round 2 if we go for a push there. Pyrotechnician is going to do 4 damage, then we get bombed, so we're just going to boost ourselves out of the range of the bomb after the technician hits us, because it always hits you, as everyone knows. It always hits what you don't want it to. And yeah, this is going to be no unit for sure. There's a Sabertooth. We could have put these together, but I really wanted to get rid of the Sabertooth. The Sabertooth presents a problem, and if we just deal with it now in this round, which I'm sure we're going to lose anyway at this point, it won't be there for later, and that's one of the threats we have. So we're just going to commit only bronzes this round, as much as possible. Probably going to use the order on this guy now. Okay, and then I'm guessing a bomb. Pull the Madoc out. Oh, we're just going to go for leaders. Yeah, when we started this round, usually they use this leader charge with the no unit decks, at least the games I play, to try and go for a win on even here. And if they're going to do that and we're playing an engine based deck, there's no way we can really handle that. So I'd rather just get rid of the Sabertooth. It's not a problem later on. There's the banish on our student. Not too big a problem. Kerack Marine's really going to be the best target for Shani in this game. We'll armor this one up just in case. Maybe it'll live another turn or two. Let's see what he's going to push with here. There's Madoc, another bomb. Making a bomb yet. We can't use our order. We still got the ticks from our guy, but now Sabertooth is going to get his value. That's what I was saying with Sabertooth being a huge problem here. We'll just pass. I don't want to deal with this. We got rid of Sabertooth. We got rid of his leader charges. We've only lost 4 provision bronze cards. So he's going to be uneven, but he's used up a lot more provisions than us, and he's used up his leader charges. So I think this is a pretty good trade for us here. And with this many, the situation you don't want to end up in these no-unit decks is when you keep trying to fight for that round 1, and then you get to round 2, and they just drop Scenario. And then it's like a 4-card round, and they have Feign Death out, and then you just activate it. And then, boom, there's an Erlin, and then suddenly there's a Yavin, and your stuff's dead. And then you're dead, because you lost the round. So I'd rather go into a longer round here where we have a much better chance of surviving his push, because they almost always go for a push here. Our round 3 is still strong, as long as we can save a duel and maybe Arachas or Gerhardt. There's Maxi. Have we used our Amphibious Assault yet? No, we haven't. We'll set up one of our guards. This is just going to get bombed. It's just bomb bait here. We need to bait out the bombs before we actually try and play anything valuable. There's the Moon Dust. They don't always play 2 Moon Dust, so maybe our Donimir of Troy will do something for us this game. East Dread will be harder for him to answer. He has no leader charges left, so a bomb or rebuke does not kill this. I like that. Let's throw him out. This will also help us get a better hand, and we can always save his patience to maybe draw into things and boost them for later. That's not bad either. Unfortunately, our duels are going to have low value in this game, although Max is honestly probably the biggest target he has for it. Unless he has a Simloss double orb finisher with a Whisper. I've seen that a couple times. I like the change to Inspired Zeal gives +2. I'm not sure when that happened. And there's a Geralt Professional. Alright, he's committing pretty hard here, as we expected. I'm not too concerned about playing slowly then. He's going to try hard to win the game here. So if we set stuff up, I'm not too concerned it'll be a problem. Let's see, let's just pull... I guess we'll pull a student. We could pull Donimir of Troy, but I'm concerned he doesn't learn Moondust. So I don't really want to, because then we lose the value on it. At least this gets value as it carries over. Into Shani later on, for the carryover, I mean. There's the Moondust. Yes, there we go. We played Donimir of Troy, which got him purified. That would have been pretty bad. So we'll just boost this back up again. Try and keep her alive as much as possible. Now here's the point where he might pass. We're getting to a lower card count, and he's still on even. So this might be the turn he passes. If he doesn't pass here, he risks us playing something pretty big. If he does keep going here, we'll try and stay on even, because we only have good cards left. Alright, we might have to use this order at this point. We're getting pretty low, it's going to be hard to save her. We could go for our... we have a... what's it called? Winch left, right? Okay, let's go for an Italius into Winch. That keeps us on even and protects our student.
Has yet to speak its last.
Normally you want to use Winch and Shani, but this is more and more carryover each time we do this. I don't think he's playing Squirrel, because he's playing Northern Winds. And usually they don't play both, because they both perform a similar function. Oh, he is playing Squirrel. Okay, well, I guess I'm wrong. But that also means you can't hit student, and this student's really going to actually get fairly good patience value. I think it's already at a 4. That's better than Kerack Marine. At least it will be at a 4 this turn. I think Gerhardt forces him out. He's not going to want to deal with that. We know for a fact he can't deal with a 6 or 7 point unit, so I think he's going to pass seeing this. Want to probably preserve his hand. He might have a, what's it called? Feign Death in there. Maybe 2 elves. Could be playing Super No unit with Synthesis. Seen that a couple times, but that's much less common. Actually, only twice, I think. Yeah, usually it's just Feign Death. So probably going to go into Feign Death for this round. He's going to have... Erlen's going to come out. He's going to have 2 more elves. He's going to Yavin us. I think that'll be it. I think we can survive that. Shani with Arachas, and this hand is... Whoa, look at this hand. Alright. I'm keeping this hand. I'm feeling much better about this game. Donimir of Troy. We'll put him melee because Selkirk has to go melee, and then maybe he won't die. Hubert's going to come out from 6 orders. We have 3 from leader. There's a heat wave. Kind of suspected that much. We go Shani into... we could pull from our deck, but nothing from our deck's really valuable from Assault. Except for this student. He's going to have the only thing that's really going to help us out. So we'll play him out melee. The other orders are probably not going to give us super value. And yeah, it looks like our graveyard's missing Kerack Marine. So, well, our Zuda student's better anyway from Shani. He's playing pretty slow here. I really expected him to throw out the Feign Death. I guess he doesn't have it. Alzur's Thunder. Oh, I think we're good. If he doesn't have Feign Death, I'm confident we have this. We're going to play so many cards that I don't think we can deal with them. Oh, there's a Kerack Marine. Not sure why we did this. We're going to be bringing back, also going to be bringing back the student with our Raxus here. I'm sure that we're not going to hit anything with our duels. He probably hasn't... okay, there's a Sainthus, so this is the Sainthus version. Our duels are going to be basically no value here, since we're not going to hit anything, so we'll just reset our Shani here. We'll play for the formation and use this. Unsace is going to hit for probably 4. We definitely don't need to save a charge for his duel. We have enough from that from Selkirk. This is the one that's got 5. And let's just boost this and get its order off. Make sure we get that going. Actually, we can just save it at a 6. He can't kill a 6. But we'll use it anyway, I think. There's no... no, we'll save it. Yeah, because he can't kill a 6 without looter charges. He's already heat waved, so that's a guaranteed live. And then just in case he plays Herald Guard before being last play, we can hit it with a big duel. We only need the 1 liter charge here for Onsace, or for our Selkirk, because Onsace is going to do 4 on deploy. That's really all we need. Oh, that movement's annoying though, for making a bomb. Although he's going to get very, very low value from the actual card. It just denies us the activation of our ability. Guess we forgot about the making a bomb. Let's just hit here. We're going to deploy Onsace for his deploy damage. I'm pretty sure we've got this at this point. He hasn't played Orbs, and he already played Simloss, so he's not going to go Simloss into Orbs, so a Herald board from him is probably maxed out at like 13 or 14 points. Forest Protector comes down, that's a good card by him. Shani's going to die probably, might be Hubert. And we just unsace this for 7, and then we're up by 30 points or so. I think that'll be GG. So, this game, he was not playing the Feign Death version. The Feign Death version does much better, so if they push for a 2-0. But you want to be careful in these matchups that you pass with enough time left that the round 2 is long, so you don't get destroyed by a 2-0. Alright, Witcher Skellige. If this is the version with the Madoc, that would mean that we're currently 0-8 versus it, which is pretty bad. This matchup's kind of terrible. The thing is, unlike the Scoia'tael and Syndicate, and there's Sunset Wanderer, so that's what's going to be here. The thing is, unlike those decks, an Avlok Sage playing Portal, for sure that gives him this round 1, because he's going to have removal of bombs to do all our stuff. So the reason this is so bad is, unlike Scoia'tael and Syndicate, where you can kill off their stuff, and when they Scoia'tael, for example, they keep bombing you, right? They keep bombing you, then they keep doing damage with their cards. They're not getting a lot of points on board each time they do that. And there's the bomb. Here comes Madoc, as we predicted. They don't get a lot of points when they do that, right? It's like 4 from the bomb, then Madoc comes back for 3. The thing is, they don't have massive swings outside of their finishers and scenario. And the scenario you can keep up with engines, or try to keep up with, and you have the big dual cards. The issue here is that he's going to get so many points mixed in with his removal that we can't keep up. Syndicate's a little different. Syndicate has the coins you play around with, but we'll boost this guy up. He's setting up his Megascope instead of dealing with us, but I think our best chance is to try at all costs to get this student to get bigger. If we just melee out our Royal Guards next turn to boost her up. Okay, Maxie, we'll just play ranged guards then.
Your magic can't harm me. No magic.
Yeah, I've tried different I've tried different strategies against this deck. The closest I've gotten is usually when I go for a powerful 2-0 and we pull a Hubert out with a duel. That's usually what gets them the closest to losing. Let's go for another engine. We're just going to play only bronzes here and hopefully have high value later on in our hand. Because hopefully he commits his higher value cards. Portal's high value, these Megascopes are not. And they're still getting a lot of points. So this is our best, I think this might be our best chance so far against this deck. We're getting a lot of points here. 17, he's going to have 7 more from a Bear Witcher Adept, so 26 is doable with a duel. Especially with our cards still having orders to go. I think they're worth 6 points here. Maybe 8 next turn. That's pretty good. So I think we go for 1 here. This lets us do it. This also helps with the duel. We don't need his leader charge. Or we get more points off. We can hit something with armor. It'd be really good if we can get Sunset Wanderers out this round, but we can't pressure him to do so because he has such a point advantage. Let's see what he does here. There's the Bear Witcher. Let's see what he hits. Okay. 32. 32 is a lot less doable than 26. Although we have, what is this? It's only 6 plus 2 is 8. We come to 21. We need 25 more outside of our abilities. I guess we would have turned to use them. We get 2 more. But then we still need 20. We'd have to commit a duel we'd have to commit 2 duels here. And I think we don't want, well actually, I think we do want to. We'll commit this, and then we'll leader this. We really want to win this round, so we don't get pushed for the 2-0. The 2-0 is really the threat here. That's what they almost always go for. We have a reset here. I think we'll boost this student up outside of a bomb range, because we definitely want his order going off. This should be our best bet so far to win one of these games against them. Alright, the early on, so this is good. We've committed on Sage, they've committed Avlok, Sage, and Portal. We've committed a bit more. Let's fire this order off. It's 3, let's fire this one off. Boost up here. We need 8 more points. Dubious Assault just for a bronze. Let's just take our Kerack Marine. And just boost something here. And that puts it back into our hand with Echo. Okay, so I think that we're on track this to be our best game versus this Witcher deck. Now, we could go for the thing is, if we go for a 2-round push here, we're going to lose the round and go down in card round 3. We can't keep up with his removal, and he has the leader charges. But if we go to a round 3, he might just have too much removal with the leader charges and the bombs. But I think we've got a better chance there than we do going for a push here, because his shorter round is so strong compared to ours. And then he has a lot of removal, so if he goes up a card with last, he'll go with Last Say. And Last Say is really something we want to maintain for a duel. I think that's our best bet. We do have to keep in mind he's probably going to Moondust our defender. Donimir of Troy has been Moondusted in most of my games against bomb decks. And against non-bomb decks, he usually sticks around like a Heat Wave. Casting Contest is really basically 0 value because we don't have a bronze. So it's just a +5. We didn't get our Shani. We can't afford to draw into Hubert here. Even though we're missing Shani, I'm pretty sure it's just a loss if we draw Hubert. And I'm pretty sure we can still go for one without her, or without Shani. And we also have Eastred to fix our hand, so I'm not overly concerned. So I think he won't be able to kill Eastred. Oh, we don't have Eastred. Oh, never mind then. Let's kill that. So we got a little bit of value there, which is nice. Actually, we can pull Eastred, but I think we still. That's what I was thinking. So I think we lock that. We could go for a duel on it, but I don't think he has Purify outside of Bomb, and I don't think he's going to Moondust his own guy because it's a 4. He could heal it and then Moondust it, but then we're not getting hit by the bomb. I think that's good for us still. The Meridian Bomb, sure. Sunset Wanderers. We could spread our units out so that he does. So here's 2 things here with Madoc. You can spread your units to different rows, like this, to avoid the Dancing Stars. I think he has Dancing Star. And the other thing you can do is put them in the same row to hope Madoc goes to the other one for his damage. Let's pull out Eastred here. I mentioned this. He'll help fix our hand. Look for our Shani. At 8, I'm pretty sure he lives here, even with this guy's leader charges. If he uses all of his leader charges up, then I'm pretty sure we're fine later on. Madoc, so he's going to try and bomb us probably. Moondust. Oh, he is going to bomb his own guy. And then leader charge us? Is that what's going on? That's probably better overall for him. It just seems weird. But he's making something tall along with Wanderers. Maybe get a double tall duel here. Let's play Donimir of Troy. He's going to be kind of clutch and important. Although it's just going to get killed by Junod, so it's not that big a deal. Let's see. Yeah, you can play Junod. I know you're going to do it. The problem here is leader into Junod into leader kills our Eastred as well. That's really bad. I think that's just GG. But, well, let's see. And Junod into second leader charge? Junod. Leader charge? That was a mistake. You should have leader charged there. Let's see if we get rid of this casting contest, though. Hubert, we're going to put back. That's back. No Shani. That's unfortunate. We had a really good chance to get her this round, but we ended up being unable to do so. Let's see. And we couldn't get her casting contest here. Let's play Leticia. I want Leticia to eat some removal here because she's not going to do anything for us. If she doesn't eat it, we can boost up our Gerhardt. That won't be bad. We have the 2 duels still. If we want, what I really want is to get Selkirk big and duel Sunset Wanderers and this other guy. So maybe duel something and then play casting contest on him before resetting him so he's big. Although we have to watch out for an Axie. He might play Axie. That's pretty common in their decks as well. Geralt Ken. Into Bear Witcher, sure. Then he's going to probably go for his leader charge. Nope. Okay, yeah, I don't think he would, but it was an option. We can play Gerhardt here, or we can casting contest her to live longer. Kind of like that play, because then Gerhardt can create another casting contest, because I think at 7 he'll be pretty safe. So I think we boost her and we play Gerhardt, trigger his ability, or have Leticia increase his patience, and then we go for our 2 duels as finishers. Actually, I think I really want Gerhardt to get a 5, because that's the best chance. If he gets at 5, it's our best chance of creating a boost card. Ouch. There comes the Yalmar, we knew it was coming. 40 points is a lot. If Gerhardt lives, we have a chance, though. So we duel a 14 and duel a 10, that's minus 24. That's pretty significant. That's not going to do it, we're going to lose here. Let's just play our cards out anyway. We can go for a duel here. I want to duel something that doesn't damage him, so we'll just kill off the Bear Witcher, and then we can hit next turn on the Greatsword. Here it comes out, not going to be enough. Yeah, if we have Gerhardt, this is much more doable because we can hit the 10 and the 14 instead of the 8 and the 10. Red Haze, we're not too much value here. Doc comes back, we're taking 3 damage. Let's see, if we go for this here, we have the duel. We kill a 10 and a 14. I guess we still don't win. So, there we go. Another one. 0-9 now versus the Bear Witcher Madoc Skellige. Really unsure if it's winnable or not without them drawing completely terribly. That time we even won round 1 and went for a longer round 3. I was kind of concerned he might still just have too much removal. I think he did. Okay, anyway, Enslave here. Okay, this is another heavy removal deck. So far today we've had Arachas Swarm Hyperthin, no unit Syndicate, or no unit Scoia'tael, Bear Witcher Madoc Hyper Control Skellige, and now we have this which has 12 tactics. So I guess we're really going to test how this deck does against control decks. Can win versus the Scoia'tael one. Can win versus Syndicate. Syndicate's a little harder than Scoia'tael. Scoia'tael is just really hard if they go for a 2-0 with the scenario. Other than that, it's doable. Here, I'm not too sure. He's going to have, what, Tourney Joust, Coded Weapons, Assassinates. Tourney Joust, kind of annoying. Stefan Skellen. Okay, going second here is good, and having Seltberg in hand is good, and him doing this is really good. Because this is our best chance here. We're going to take a big... We're going to commit heavily to this round. I want to win on even, because we're really threatened by his seize. He can seize one of our students that's been boosted up quite a bit, and then use its order. He can seize... And then we can't bring it back. He can seize our Eastred or our Leticia, which is pretty bad. He can damage down Gerhardt and steal it. He can steal one of our duelers, although that's not as bad for us. We can't Veraxis it. So we've got to keep that in mind. Let's see what he's deciding on. Roderick. Sure. We have the Helga. Well, we have our lock in hand. We lock that. And I think we're taking this round on even, unless he has like Damien Leader or something, which I don't think he will commit this round. They don't all have Damien in their deck anyway. So he's going to really have to do something here. We can just start playing our bronzes, which is good. Joachim, alright, that's still big. Ooh, Joachim into Blightmaker. That's pretty rough. Yeah, that's pretty rough. We'll just start throwing down cards. I guess we're not going to go for even win here. We'll just go for the win. We forced out several really good cards, though. Well, I guess we didn't force them out, he just played them. And there's the Tourney Joust, removing that. Kerack Marine puts us ahead, but we don't have a Kerack Marine. Let's set up a student. I mean, we do have a Kerack Marine, but I want to set up the student, because you just throw out a damage card. If he is playing Coded Weapons, I don't mind getting more students. There's a coup. See what he pulls from Joachim this time. It's going to be, ooh, a Fire Scorpion. If we can get a Kerack Marine to stick, and then duel into, like, get 2 really tall duels here. Let's pull the Marine. I want to play this one and leave its order unused. So we can either Veraxis or on Say's play Veraxis. We can boost and then Veraxis and take out Fire Scorpion. And we'll get our win on even back. Assassinate. It's going to hit. He lives though. Lives with 1 left. We knew this was the case. Otherwise this would have been less good of a play. Fire Scorpion is 2 damage. So we're gonna actually... we don't have Arachas. I think we'll permit Enslave. Arachas is still good round 3 on Shani, so we don't have to save the duel for her. Enslave with this here is really big. And then we'll give it Zeal, and look at that, 11. That's just enough to kill Fire Scorpion, as we anticipated, and that'll give us a win on even, which is really what we want here. That's quite helpful. We can go into a long round 3 with our Patience cards like we want to, and we'll have Last Say still. Quite nice. Quite nice indeed. Although we've played both our duels, we're about to rely on Shani. But I think this card advantage was worth it. And he also... It's not like he didn't commit either. He lost Stefan. He lost Hefty Helga. Those are pretty significant cards. He also lost Joachim and his first coup. So he committed just as heavily as we did here. And as a result, we're coming out on top. The other thing is here, if he has... I guess, I don't know. Maybe if he has Damien, he could take the round still. That'd be rough, but he's committed so much of his provisions then. I don't think he's going to do that. I think he'll just pass. No, he does have Damien. Alright. Damien sees off represents 11 loss for us and an 11 swing for him if he seizes twice. It's a 12 swing if he only seizes once, so we're going to pass. If we lose 6 and he goes up 6, there's a 7-point differential here. That makes him a +5 plus every place from his hand. We don't want to commit Gerhardt, Eastred, or Leticia. We can commit Kerack Marine, I don't mind that, but that's not enough to maintain the win on even. So we'll pass and just take being up a card anyway, because he's going to have to use his leader charge. Winning on even's good, but we're still going to win here, and he'll still be down an extra card. This is just as good as our original plan. There's an assassinate. The thing is, he's exchanged so many provisions here. See, Joachim, Stefan, Damien, that's 30 provisions, first coup. He's played a lot of gold cards. We've also committed though, we've used up 2 of our 3 leaders. And he still has his leader card, but we're up a card. I'm not sure why he's pushing here. This seems not smart. I'm not sure what's in his hand that he thinks he can get a 2-0 down 2 cards, but let's just make sure it doesn't happen. Let's pull Donimir of Troy. He might, what's it called? Tourney Joust this, then seize it, then he has no more seize, and then I'm pretty sure we win round 3. Otherwise, he might seize something I actually care about. I don't really care if he seizes Donimir of Troy. Menno. Into there's a turn joust, so he's going to steal our defender. The reason I don't really care here is because the only reason... Okay, he's not going to steal it. Maybe he's going to coup it. He's probably going to coup it. We could Kerack Marine boost it, but then he seizes it with his leader ability at a 6 instead of 2. So we'll just throw this down. That's worse for us if he seizes it for 6. We'll just let him hit it with a coup. I don't care if he has defender because we have no duels left. If we had duels left, dueling into a shielded unit is terrible, so we wouldn't do this. But since he already used it up, I'm not concerned. We can just play Leticia here, try and get carryover set up here, boost her. As long as we... The thing is, since he's down 2 cards for this bleed, we can just play bronzes and go down to up 1 card round 3 instead. Surrender here landing. Is he going to seize our Leticia? Okay, sure. That's not a bad play. He's up by 17 now. Let's see. We'll just throw down Eastred. He can help fix our hand. Also, potentially his carryover and boosting something. Is he going to pass here? Bribery. Now this could... Oh, I was going to say, this could be really bad if he gets Gerhardt, but he got our Gerhardt. So I didn't have to say it, because he did get it. Alright, we might actually get in trouble here. Hubert should come out soon, though. Teleport... Oh, he is crew also. So this is actually going to go for value, because it's going to hit us. Not sure why. I guess he didn't get packed. Ouch. 21. Can we do this without leader charge? Depends what Eastred gives us. I think we'll Kerack Marine no matter what. And then probably have to Gerhardt. So let's get Gerhardt going. I want Gerhardt on 5 because casting contest is probably the best value we're going to see from him. And since that's true, we're going to have to play Kerack Marine before we use him. Hey, we can, as long as we have Shani round 3, I think we win. Hubert's coming out this round. So yeah, Shani round 3 is a win here, I'm pretty sure. And let's go for our Kerack Marine. Oh, we can just casting contest first, I guess. It doesn't really matter, actually, because we're going to get our Hubert out. Let's throw it on the Marine. Yeah, it doesn't matter because we're getting our Hubert out. And then we're up by 6, so there we go. And let's go to round 3. Shani's a win here, I'm pretty sure. But let's see what he has. He's committed so many provisions, though, right? Bribery, Stefan, Damien, they've all been used up. Which is not amazing. Casting Contest is also not amazing. I really want Varaxis. That is a Varaxis. I think a unit's better than Winch. Any unit. So we'll just do that. Put out our student. We'll just play Shani. I think we've got GG set up. And I don't think he has anything left. Oh, Letho. I'm not really sure what Letho's. Letho must be for Damien. Makes sense. So he hasn't played his defender. He must be running it. Maybe it's in his hand now. Yeah, usually play that with the Damien. So I guess he didn't need to. But it's not gonna be enough points. Oh, GG. And yeah, the deck works pretty well. You can even handle this Enslave deck. So what do I think about the deck then? What would I change? Honestly, I really like the idea of the deck. I like the Patience Mages. They're not bad. They just don't have as high a win rate as my other decks, my other factions. And I think the issue is that it's just the meta right now, right? I mentioned this earlier, right? I'm playing 60 to 70% Syndicate or Madoc control decks. And that's just so much removal to go into with an engine-based deck, but especially in cards that have to live for multiple turns. Like the students, you really want these guys to live for 4 or 5 turns. Going against Madoc bomb decks, the Northern Winds hit you hard too. Northern winning one of the students is pretty bad. Even Northern winning the Kerack Marines is pretty bad. So, I like the deck. It's just not great in the current meta of what I'm facing. It's not bad. It's still above 50% win rate. I don't know the exact win rate. It's doing alright. We're gaining MMR, but it's not as fast of a climb as I would like. Still though, it's my favorite Northern Realms deck, I think. The Archgriffin stuff's kind of not my thing. I don't like that the opponent messes up and then you win, or the opponent doesn't have an answer you win. I don't like that kind of stuff that much. And I don't really like Siege, I don't really like Commandos, but Patience Mages are kind of fun. And I like having the duels for the access to the short round power. Now, as far as card changes, if you don't like the duels, you can always run Tisea. You can run Tisea, and you can do that. You can also run Queen Adalia. Queen Adalia is really solid for playing one of your students with a shield. The problem is, I'm facing a lot of Scoia'tael, Madoc, and bombs, and that shield doesn't help, because they're just going to Moondust it, or they're going to hit it with a Scoia'tael ping and then bomb it. So the shield doesn't help too much in most of my games. But it's still a decent option if you're not facing a lot of pings in your games. And when I mentioned Tisea I think is a little bit too greedy, because you really want to hit, you want her to get, what, like 15-ish, no, probably more like 16 to 18 value somewhere in there, and for that you need to hit 2 big orders. So you either need 2 of your students at like 6 to hit, you need to hit Gerhardt and a student, you need to hit like Gerhardt and maybe Leticia or Eastred, and that's really kind of sketchy in my opinion. I don't think it's going to happen too much. And I think if it is going to happen, you're going to win anyway. So I think this is like a win more card that we don't really need in our deck. But it's certainly interesting, and it'll be fun to play around with. Yeah, Queen Adalia is the other one I mentioned already. She's pretty good to include, that's for sure. And then if things to cut, that's up to you really. Donimir of Troy, I've seen some people not running the Donimir of Troy just because they don't want stuff answered. Or they're not really concerned about the defender because it's going to get heat waved or purified. And that's fair, there's a lot of purify. You can cut Donimir of Troy. There's purify everywhere, he becomes bad. And since Madoc is everywhere, well, he doesn't become bad, he becomes worse. Because Madoc's everywhere, Moondust is everywhere, and that bomb hits purify. So it only does 2 damage on the bomb, because his armor blocks too, but losing the Purify means he's lost most of his value at that point. So you can cut him to put one of these cards in if you want to. So yeah, that's the gold changes. The other slots you can change around. I really like the duels and stuff. You can remove them if you want to change them for something else. I wouldn't. I like having them. I think they're really strong, and that's the reason I like Inspired Zeal over Shield Wall. You have the access to the extra duels, and you also have the access to boosting and zealing whatever you bring back with Shani. This spot here is Boiling Oil and the Adept. These ones, I'm going to change the Adept out, I think. Boiling Oil I really like having access to. Syndicate's my most frequent matchup, and I want a way to deal with a Freak Show and a Tunnel Drill that doesn't require one of my duels. We're already having a student set up because the student won't be set up. And yeah, I also purified a Siri Nova with this recently, so that was pretty funny. So keep that in mind. The Purify can be useful too. Not against Defender because you can't target stuff next to a Defender, but for resilience and stuff like that. So I think I like the Boiling Oil. The Zudis student you can adapt. You can change this one out, which I think I'm going to, because I want to try out Practice Makes Perfect. I think I scrolled by it. And the other one you can try out putting in is Ballista, right? Ballista is pretty good too. Ballista is a solid card, and you can also run Practice Makes Perfect here. The thing with Practice Makes Perfect is it's a little kind of, as again, it's kind of greedy. You need to have one of your students live, and you need to have your deck have just no students in it, so that when you play this, it pulls out the same one and gets its order refreshed and boosts it. But honestly, I haven't tried the card out, so we're going to try it out instead of the Adept for a little bit, and I want to see how that goes. But other than that, the deck's going to stay the same, and it's quite a bit of fun. A lot more fun than I anticipated. I anticipated that it would do worse against Control. We've faced quite a few Control decks, and other than the Bear Witcher one, which I still haven't won a game against, it did pretty well, honestly. So it can handle some Control decks. That's really what the Varaxis and the Onsace and the Selkirk do for you. It lets you handle opponents' decks with some short round value and value on deploy, which you don't have from the engines, which is really good. So hopefully you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.